thinking. Now, what do you do in a situation where you have placed people in a position of trust in your life? And of course, we all do things in this life. We make mistakes. And the most important thing about making mistakes in this life, and in your heart you've made a mistake, you atone for it. You try to do better, and where you can, you do your best to make amends to other people. But you see, there are some people that want to impose that kind of ethic on you, but they don't themselves want to live up to the same standards they place on other people. A good example, I think, of this is radical honesty. I don't know that much about it. People tell me it's some descendant of Esther or whatever. But all I know is the people that I've encountered that subscribe to radical honesty are all fine and good when it's about telling people the problem with them. But when you try to fairly turn around and apply that philosophy to others, well, it is what separates the radically honest from the bitches in this life. It's really that simple. I don't care what it is, whether it's Christianity, if you're using it as an excuse to be judgmental toward other people and you're not working on yourself, there's a problem. With paganism, if you are looking for others to behave ethically and you yourself and confront somebody that's not doing it and they give you, why, whatever do you mean, it is very telling. It's in order for these different philosophies to work, to really work, there has to be a fair playing field. And what happens is when there's not, things get tremendously out of whack and out of balance. I've tried for the last few years really to apply things fairly. As I do a self inventory on myself, I have really done my best to um, changes in my life that are positive. Because, even though somebody might hand something to me in a harsh or unkind way, if there's truth to what they're saying, that is something that has to be evaluated. But when you turn it around again and suggest to other people that they might do a little bit of work themselves, and all of a sudden, whatever do you mean? Offense is taken, and all of a sudden you're this evil one, or you don't get it at all because you're just not listening to what they have to say, and yada yada yada. There is no question about it. 2012 was very hard for me. I lost people of great value to me. They were within 1 or 2 years of my age either way. And these were not just, acquaintances. These were people that were my friends. And there were a lot of them. And in the process of my finding the capacity and the need to really accept and work on accepting others through some of the times and some of their behavior issues, etc. I started to notice that there was a resistance that kind of let me see that there are some people, no matter what you try to do to help them, are always going to look at you as some kind of villain because you dared to find fault with something that they do when they have no problem with you. And it gets down to at that point really about cutting your losses. I was listening to Lori Bruno, a beautiful Beltane, in upstate New York at this winery in the Hudson River Valley. And She was talking about people that have this need to be put up on a pedestal, etc. Yeah, I'm the fairy king, blah, blah, blah. But people who know me know that I do my best to play a good character walks in behind vibe. And, really that title is in recognition to the fact that that's all I really do in my life is try to help other people. And, nothing like a situation where there's a lot of hurt coming in, a lot of pain, a lot of painful lessons. Um, Nothing like that, makes you more sensitive to how others are treating you. I mean, an example of some of the passive aggressive crap that I had to put up with. I survived with somebody I love very much who had to undergo cancer. And that wasn't too long ago. And, she has her way of being petty from time to time, negative. You know, I don't think that in 2 years on her post on Facebook she said a nice thing to say to me. And there are some people that ask me, well, why do I continue? And I said, I always pray, that she'll wake up one day and see the effect of those actions and how they affect others. But the point is, there's nothing like a very serious illness to bring two people even closer, or sometimes put them further apart. And so I'm worried and worried and worried. And, for 3.5 weeks on this journey, I'm trying to get in touch with her. And I'm trying to get in touch with the person that lives with her. And I'm getting no response at all. And so this is really turning into a passive aggressive nightmare. And, this is when Shay and I are having problems on the road trying to figure out, how we're going to do things. There were a couple of times we needed um, individual, definitely had or could have helped us with, and we were ignored. And so finally, toward the end, I was like, this had better be good. Because I consider passive aggression a form of emotional violence. And, I'm nobody's bitch. And it took me a long time to realize that I just simply will not be treated that way. And it doesn't matter who you are. You employ passive aggression with me as a means to punish me. And in the light of it, it wasn't really even something that I was entirely responsible for. And proportionately, it was cruel. It was extremely cruel. And, my Facebook is a pretty open thing. I mean, people know, when I'm having trouble. So there's silence and silence. So finally, the answer comes in the form of, well, I did this to hurt this person a year ago, and, I gave her some information that she didn't want, etc., and starts lecturing me on ethics and trust. And, the bottom line is, this is somebody that in the process of my engagement and not tying, slept with the person repeatedly that I was tying the knot with. And I'm getting a lecture on ethics and trust, from forgiven a long time ago for this, and that's a pretty big one to forgive somebody for. But then I find out that there are other people that are, in this little conspiracy, and I'm going, give me a break. Why am I wasting my time with this Jerry Springer bullshit? Here I am on the road with probably one of the most exceptional beings I have ever known, and Shay Marsh certainly is. And I'm trying to get through this, and he is going to help make the world a place with. dealing with this nonsense.